Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining NetSertive's webinar today on pipeline strategy for this unique peak season. We hope that you're moving boats off your lots as we're in the beginning of the season. Today, we're actually going to focus on who we are, what we do, and the ways in which we can be a strategic partner with your particular dealership and get your digital marketing up and running within a matter of days.
Hi, and thanks again for carving out some time today. With Memorial Day coming up this weekend, we're certainly running on all cylinders, not only helping our long-standing clients, but also ramping up quite a few new dealers here in the last few days. So we want to ensure that even though things look great right now from a sales pipeline standpoint, that we keep this momentum going to make this the best year yet. So before we get started, we want to let everyone know that we're taking questions in the Zoom comment box. So feel free to add any questions you have through today's webinar. We'll make sure each and every one of them gets a response afterwards if time doesn't permit, answering in real time.
Great. So my name is Cecily Kehoe. I am the Enterprise Program Manager for our marine dealers, and I oversee all of their campaigns. I have cross-functional relationships within the company to ensure that all of my accounts are improving, whether it be product or finance, operations, engineering, marketing. I meet monthly with our operations team as well to ensure that our campaigns are not only improving, but we're also identifying areas to optimize. I think these frequent touch points internally with teams allow us to kind of mitigate and identify any areas of inefficiency. Each day is very different, and I think that that makes for a very exciting and dynamic environment.
And again, my name is Chris Poor. I'm a sales executive here at NetSertive, primarily focused with our marine clients. I actually took my first steps on the boat as a child, so that's sort of what motivates me each day, coming in and identifying new dealerships and building partnerships that fit our platform, ultimately to help you guys, move boats over the curve and maintain success year over year, despite what time of the year it is and seasonalities or what other things you may offer. So it's a little bit about me.
Great, thanks. And so what do we know? We know that each dealership and market is very unique. And because of this, we want to make sure that we are customizing our campaigns to fit each dealer's individual needs. Each of our approaches is different because we understand that each location operates very differently and has challenges that are unique to them and their particular market. Our job is to make sure that we are finding you the best solutions for your needs and to make sure that we're helping you sell as many boats as possible in the small window of time that we have during the year.
Another thing that we know is your dealership could potentially be as busy as it's ever been right now. And, that's obviously due to some large factors that were well beyond our control. What we want to portray here is that, even in times where things are normal, we're able to efficiently and effectively keep your sales pipeline full with not just any, leads, but high quality leads with intent to purchase. So we want to make sure that even after this major surge that's going on right now, that we maintain momentum going through the rest of the summer. So this chart right here shows Google searches for the boat buying related searches in the last 18 days compared to the same period in 2019. So you can see searches are certainly up 55.2% over 2019 with a 28.3% spike over the previous 18 days. Definitely shows that there are interested buyers in the market, and your goal should be to show up when they're looking for you, right? So there's going to be a lot of people out there looking for boats, and if they can't find your site, they're certainly going to go to the next one that's the most convenient. So that's where we come into play in helping you guys show up at the right place, the right time, with the right message, with minimum cost. So this slide is really just designed to show you that there are numerous things that go into identifying and finding the ideal customer. If you were to try to do this on your own, you could see that just even reading it can be complex. There's, certainly people that are going to tell you how many leads you can get each month. That's not what we do. We don't guarantee you a number. We don't do websites. We don't do SEO. We focus solely on one thing, and that's driving you highly qualified leads that are, intent on buying what you have to offer. It's what makes us unique, and that's why we define ourselves as specialists. We don't paint things with a broad brush. We are hyper-focused on one thing and one thing only. This slide will sort of give you a visualization about what makes our approach unique. And we like to say that that's with our aggregated and anonymized data. So on average, a single NetCertive account is tuned anywhere between 300 to 800 times each month. This roughly equates to anywhere between 50 to 135 man hours. That's time that you can't get back. Our data set has over 1 million keywords, both positive and negative. The unique piece here is how we're able to aggregate, all of this data that we have, anonymize it, and then use that to tune and tweak campaigns so that they're performing at their optimal level, day in, day out, in real time. Something that, as far as we know, we're the only folks in the industry that have this type of technology, and certainly know that you cannot get 135 hours back out of your month just devoted towards digital marketing. You need to be on the lot moving boats. So we want to be in the back room helping you do that. And that's what makes us unique, and that's what we do all day, every day. Here shouldn't be any surprise to folks about the seasonal digital approach. What we understand is the ins and outs of every aspect of it for just about every geography. What we want to understand is what else does your dealership offer in the months where folks may not be out on the water, but in the woods instead. Each dealer is unique, and we're just trying to change the narrative and understanding that just because it's not peak season doesn't mean you don't need to be out there.
Right, and I think another important approach to both boat and potentially ATV season, if you carry ATVs, is to make sure that people can always find you no matter the time of year. Rather than turning off all of your digital, during the slower season, we actually recommend that you maintain some sort of scaled back presence online, whether it be some search and some display or just a little bit of search. We want to make sure that folks can find you even if they're not on the water.
So I want to run through just a few results that we've gotten. We're not going to obviously outline any names here, but in 2018, we were working with about 197 separate locations across the US and Canada with one of the largest and most widely recognized brands. We're actually, they were able to attribute 80% of the brand's sales volume directly from the NetCertive platform. So as we began to incorporate YouTube for the participating dealers, we saw that the results were delivering a 44% view rate versus a 28% industry average. We were having a 50% increase in search lift and a 48% decrease in cost per click. So when we think about things like that in terms of how much does it cost me to bring a lead in to have that trailer hooked up to the back of the truck off the lot, we want to help you guys work that math backwards and start to bring that figure down as much as we can so that we're effectively bringing in folks for less but yielding higher results from them.
Great. So the launch process, how to get started with NetCertive. The first step would be to set up an initial call with Chris, during which you discuss any sort of challenges that you might be having, what your goals are, that type of thing. Then we would develop a custom campaign strategy that's actually tailored specifically to your dealership, and will include recommended budget allocation, recommended targeting, and any sort of categories that we believe that you should be focusing on. And then we would have an onboarding call, which is when I would be brought in, and we would present these recommendations to you and your team, discuss any sort of creative options or co-op needs that you may have, and what we would need from you. So for example, we would need to add GTM code to your site, and any sort of Facebook access should to move forward with running social. And then we would also be reviewing any sort of conversion recommendations that we have. If you have the guidelines for what you want to run, we just actually need access to it, and then we can pretty much take it from there if we don't already have it in-house. And then after this call, we really can get up and running within a matter of 3 to 5 business days. So pretty quickly. And then the reason that we can launch so quickly is because we already have access to branded creative assets and only need access to any sort of additional banners for the other brands should you choose to run those. Because of the close relationship that account management has with our operations team, we have a very streamlined and efficient launch process that allows the operations team to really efficiently set up and launch campaigns after an onboarding call. So I think also, our longstanding marine relationships and knowledge of the industry really allows us to identify the best categories, the best channels to advertise for, and anything that really would apply to your particular market.
So what we'll look at here are the services that we provide to our dealers. Now, that's not to say that every dealer has to have every single thing on this page. As we mentioned a few times, every dealership is customized. Every package is customized. We don't have a gold, silver, bronze type package. So we want to operate across search, which we've also begun to incorporate Bing with the Microsoft network. We're seeing some pretty astounding results from that. So where necessary, we are incorporating that into a lot of our campaigns. Also display, social, and video. We have some very effective tactics and tools that we can utilize with these to really hone in and hyper localize your campaign so that you're finding those folks wherever they may be, right? So with display, we can create any localized display ads using your brand assets, making sure that any type of co-op you've got laying around, if we want to use that on the digital front, we can make that happen for you, get you that reporting so that you get that filed. We know that that process can be a little laborious, for lack of a better term. Same thing with the videos and with Google My Business. We'll review and update your listings for your dealer locations. That's a really important thing that's going on right now, especially letting folks know if you're open, what your hours are, things like that. It's all about making it easier for that customer to find you. And we want to help you with that. We've done it. We've done it for over 250 plus dealerships, helping them sell, tens of thousands of boats over the last 3.5 years. So the really unique thing that we have is also our call tracking and recording that's provided to you guys. No matter if you're just doing 1 channel, 2 channels, using this for quality control is great. And also for providing any type of best practices in sales, right? If you got a lead that comes in and we haven't followed up on it, that's a great way to figure out, hey, well, this lead came from a result of a Facebook campaign that we were running, or this came in as part of a search campaign, right? Those are the type of things that we want to provide full visibility into so that you can see, how your marketing dollars are working all the way down to the penny. So with that, we'll gladly take any questions that you might have right now. You'll see my email address as well as Cecily's on there. We look forward to touching base with any and all of you as we head into this unique peak season and hopefully build these long-term lasting relationships for years to come.